there, so here at the allotment today we're going to be focusing on using homemade tools, the experiments progress and the harvests that we're getting in at the moment. So here you can see the runner beans are growing quite nicely and we're starting to get a small harvest. It's not huge but enough to get us some food, and you can see the before when they were just flowers and today where we're starting to pick, and here's a couple that will probably be ready next time I come down. Over here is the start of the squash trellis. This is an experiment that I started last week, and you'll notice that we've got up the posts and some square wire, and they seem to be growing quite well. They really seem to be enjoying it actually, because you can see on the left there where just before we put it up, that's what size they were, and they're getting a lot bigger. The beans are starting to rump up the poles, so that's a good thing too. Now the strawberry patch, we decided to put these rhubarb leaves on to try and slow down the weeds and keep the water in. I wouldn't say it was a full success, but it's kind of working, so we'll check back on that another time. In the brassica cage you can see that some of the broccolis and collies are starting to grow, and in between we put some lettuce to see if they would get shaded enough so that they didn't bolt. Not sure, might have to harvest some of these soon, but I'll probably take little harvests around them before I take out the full lettuce. It does seem to be working, but I'm not sure for how much longer. We're walking towards the blackcurrant cage here, and you can see that from this distance they look lovely and black and juicy and ripe, so we'll have a look at those. And in here you can see that we made a bit of progress. All those nasty weeds in there that were going to get us, we've pulled out, and they were very sharp too, so hopefully in there we'll get time to harvest today as well. So just walking round now to the blackcurrants, and we can see that the blackberries are starting to come on. Nothing ripe, but starting to swell. Now in the currant cage you can see that last time we did a lot of weeding, and the idea was to get some cardboard and some wood chip down, which I've managed to do, so it's going to make harvesting some of these blackcurrants a lot easier. Now they do look juicy and ready, so let's go inside and have a little look. Ah yes, tools. This is supposed to be a gooseberry harvester. I don't think I'm going to go to it today, but I'll show you next time, because it's a pretty cool piece of kit and we'll see if it works. Homemade, of course. And then in my homemade harvesting bag I've got some pots for the blackcurrants, and we've tried to make one of these. It's supposed to harvest the blackcurrants, so we'll see in a moment if that's successful or not. Right, I think we're all kitted up and ready to go into the cage. Okay, so the idea is to scoop up the blackcurrants between the nails. Doesn't matter if we get a few leaves, and then sort of pull it backwards and up, and it should harvest lots of blackcurrants. Now in theory from that seemed to work really well. Oh, camera nearly fell off there. Thing is, can I keep it going, and will it make it easier on the whole? Here I'm noticing that some of the smaller branches are getting in the way, so I've got to be aware of that. It's experiment 2. I was putting the blackcurrants into the little tubs that you saw. This time I'm going to try and put them straight into the harvesting bag. I'm not sure this is a great idea because we do have those folds at the bottom with the hole, but we'll see if something so small is going to escape or not, and then we'll know. Maybe next time I could bring a big bowl or something. Right, I think I can confirm that some of the black currants are trying to escape out the corners. I mean, it's not a mass exodus or anything, but they were getting out, so we definitely need some sort of container for these small tiny things inside the bag. If you've got a tub in there, it's fine. Now, in experiment 3, I've moved to hand picking again to see if this is any easier or if I drop less. I found that with the harvester we were picking unripe berries and a few smaller ones were dropping through. Hand picking means that I can select. I have noticed as well, I'm not going to pick all of the bush, I'm just going to do part of this bush, that some of them are less ripe than others. It only really seems to be the outer ones that are ripe, so I'm going to leave some of these black currants for next time. But I tend to just put them between my fingers, a bit like the tool. Trying to show the camera here, it's a bit awkward, and then sort of pull them off that way. So your fingers are kind of doing the same sort of thing, but somehow the human hand is so much more dexterous. Okay, so here's the boxes in my bag, and every time I fill one up, I pop it in. Now I'm decanting them into the cool bag, because what I don't want is in the sunshine that they get heated up too much, because I want them to last. Excuse the finger on the camera there. You can also see I got a few mange tout in there today. Again, not lots, but enough. Nice little harvest now and again. You don't want great big harvests unless you're going to freeze or preserve in some way. So at the beginning of the season it's quite nice just to get, there's that finger again, it's nice to get smaller harvests. Okay, my bag's now empty of black currants, but it's quite handy for popping these in, because normally they're all over the place when I'm harvesting. Let's go and see what the taberries and the raspberries are doing. So, here we go with our next experiment. Straight from the plant into the tub in the bag. I'm kind of pretending that it's a bowl because I haven't got one with me today, so the box will have to do. So every so often I'm looking down. So trying not to get to that point where you've got so many in your hand that you end up dropping them. So there we go. And this is working quite well, I feel. So I think next time I'm picking berries, I think I'll bring a big bowl to sort of sit in it, a bit like a kangaroo pouch or something, so that I've got both hands free. Because as you might have noticed from the finger keep appearing, I'm filming with one hand, harvesting with the other, and then the tub in the bag is like being a third hand. So here's the cherry tree. Now if you remember last time we came, I said there was one cherry ready and I doubt it would be here next time we came. It wasn't. But lots and lots of the others were ready. So I picked them, again, in the bag. Okay, so here's today's harvest. We've got a number of tubs of taberries, the black currants, raspberries, mange tout, and in a moment we will pan up and I'll show you. Look at all those cherries! Great big bag full of them. Oh, and a few runner beans for tea. But generally speaking, I think the experiments have gone well. We've harvested quite a lot too. I'm really pleased with all of that. Thanks for watching. Bye!